Today we're going to be cooking stuffed peppers a la carte. You can do peppers, you can do zucchini, you can do tomatoes, you can do cabbage, you can do all of them together or all of them separate. Depends on the way you want it. And to get this, we're going to prepare the peppers, hollow them out. Zucchinis, hollow them out. We're going to do the same thing with tomatoes, hollow them out. We won't throw the insides, we're going to use them for the inside stuffing. And we're going to use some cabbage leaves. We're going to take the hard part out and steam them a little bit. And now I'm going to throw them in boiling water. Now the water is boiled, as we can see. We're going to go ahead and blanch them, so come with me. We're going to blanch some peppers to get a little softer so they're not going to be so hard when you cook them. Just 3-4 minutes, that's all what you need to do. Throw some cabbage leaves for a few minutes, maybe even less than a few minutes, depends on the cabbage, if it's hard or soft. Just you get a little softer so it's more manageable when you roll them. Now you can see that they're cut a lot softer, so we're going to take them out and finish making our stuffing. Now we're going to make the base. I'm going to take an onion and just put the onions in a bowl. Those are the insides that we took out of the tomatoes, and I said not to throw them away because we're going to use them for the base. Okay, now we can use the tomatoes to stuff them, but we're going to use the rest of it for the base. Now that we chopped our onions and tomatoes, we're going to make the base for our stuffed peppers or stuffed a la carte vegetables. We put olive oil, coat the pan. Garlic salt. Seasoning and cumin. Now the base is ready. You can either turn it off, or if you have the stuffed pepper already ready, then you can put it on. Other than that, I'm going to shut it off, turn it off, and then we're going to finish up with our peppers. Now we're going to make a stuffing. We're going to need about a pound of ground beef, maybe half a cup or a third of a cup of rice. I use arborio rice. You can use any rice you want. And now we're going to chop our parsley. If you don't like parsley, you can put cilantro. If you don't like any green, you don't have to, but I use it. Next we're going to put half an onion, chopped. One medium-sized tomato, chopped in cubes, very small. Maybe size like that. And now we're going to season. I use garlic salt. Meat seasoning. And again, cumin. I'm going to put a regular salt. Now we're going to mix everything. A bit more water to make it a little more soft. Now the filling is done, we're going to start stuffing them. Now I'm going to stuff the zucchini. Now I'm going to show you my mom's recipe, which was that she taught me from the early age. We're going to give our peppers a little caps, egg wash and flour, and it's going to make them cook inside instead of juices come out outside, so it's going to be really, really tasty. You can do this on zucchini too, you can do this on tomatoes, but you got to be careful so it doesn't, tomatoes are a little watery, so you want to make sure they don't splash on you. So we're going to do the egg wash, 1 egg or 2 eggs, depends on the amount. Flour, salt and pepper. We're going to take a pepper. If you do the edges too a little bit, then it's going to come out just like a cap. Like it's going to, peppers is going to have a little hat. Frying pan, you can put any oil you want. I use sunflower oil. You can use grapeseed oil, sunflower oil. I do not use canola oil. If you have a mixture of olive oil and grapeseed oil, that would be great. Other than that, I stick with the options that's here because they're healthier. 1 drop of egg wash to see if the oil is ready, if it's hot enough. And once it starts bubbling up, it's hot enough, so then we can go ahead and proceed. And that's what you're looking is for little sizzle. And that's when it's done. With little hats from both ends, or you can do one end, depends. And now we're going to do tomatoes. Probably better not to use your hand because you're going to burn your fingers. And that's it for now. Let's recap. We have a base that's ready, onions and tomatoes. If you have extra cabbage, you can throw in spices. Now we have stuffed cabbage. We stuffed the zucchini and put little hats at both ends. We did the same thing with peppers and tomatoes. The reason we're doing this, so the stuffing cooks inside and all the juices stay inside, so it is absolutely delicious. Now it's time consuming. If you want to skip that step, you can do that and you can just continue with the rest of it. But if you don't want to skip that step and you want to try it, it's really delicious. It's worth the time. Everything is done and we're ready to cook. This is the easiest part. So I'm going to turn our base on, which is tomatoes and onions. And if you have extra cabbage, you can throw in. And then we're gonna line them up. I like to keep them separate from each other, or at least in the little groupings, so then you can easily access what you want. Be gentle so you don't break the little hats. Now the last step, if you want to put, you can put some water. You have to cover at least halfway. If you have vegetable broth, I make my own stock, so I will do that, but you can put some water on. At this time you should salt it a little bit to make sure it's seasoned properly. So I will do that in a second. Now that we put all the cabbage and stuffed peppers and stuffed tomatoes and stuffed zucchini in, we're waiting for it to boil. Now, for all the gluten-free people, instead of using flour, you can use buckwheat and millet combination, or you can use gluten-free flour, but buckwheat and millet combination makes it really good, tasty little caps. So now you have to just cover it, and that's about it. And we're gonna leave it for 45 minutes on a medium heat. It's done cooking, and we're gonna be ready to take a look at it.
Mama! Mama! Oh, there's some food. What did she make? Stuffed cabbage, peppers and zucchini. Oh, I haven't eaten all day. This is my favorite meal. I can't wait. Let's try some. Yeah, I'll take this one here.
Jack.
Oh.
No hi, no bye, nothing, just food.
I'm so sorry. You know this is my favorite food, Mom.
Unbelievable.
It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for making my favorite meal. I love you.
Love you too.